Hello YouTube. Another matter that concerns me a lot is the issue of education. When myself, I came to Germany and I went for jobs interviews. As you might guess, German it is not my first language up until now. Few months after my arrival, well, I am much better at it, but I cannot really explain myself completely in German, and I do struggle a little bit. However, when you go for a job interview, well, you might not know that Germany is one of the countries that speak English as the second language. I will say, because from my grandparents now to the newer generations, 15, 16 years old, they do all speak English and in a very, very good way. So, so you would think that it is not a problem to bring some experience from other countries from the European Union, such as England, where I also come from. And well, they look at you, and regardless the fact that you come from another EU country, they look at you like, oh yeah, so you cannot speak German. Oh, I see. Oh, you just arrived to the country. Okay, so you don't have any experience in the country. Okay, maybe just give it 6 months or so, and maybe then later you can have a job using the experience that you bring, so on and so forth. But you see, that is what they do with someone who cannot really speak the language. They treat you like a bit of a disabled, if you like. In England, it happened the same. When I first arrived to England, my English was not that fluent, and despite the fact I was a manager for over 10 years in South America, I had 4 different companies. I went to England and I was explaining the situation, my approach as a manager, how did I created a company with $100 and then managed to sell it later on for thousands, and so on and so forth. Then this guy with the interview was again, oh, yeah, Mr. So-and-so, well, so you don't have any experience working in England. You cannot really use much the language or being that clear the language. So yeah, maybe give it a year or two, and then we will see, and so on. So, and then you have the refugees right now, yeah, and of course they are being supported with the money of the taxpayers. But they are not legally authorized to work or to do anything at all, because, oh yeah, they don't speak German or English or whatever other language that they are of the country that they are applying or seeking asylum from, and then yeah, they also don't have experience in that country, of course. And some of them, you know, like are very highly regarded professionals where they come from, but because they didn't go through the paperwork required or what have you, that workforce is stopped and they are not allowed to work, and they are costing us a pretty penny. Now, imagine, like, in the future, if these people, the young generation of refugees, are trying to apply for a job, then the companies where they are presenting their CVs take in one hand a CV from a refugee, and then take in the other hand a CV from a normal European with the same age. So they compare them. Okay, the life achievements. Okay, well, sorry, you cannot have the job because you haven't done much in the last 25 years of your life. Okay, you got the job. To the other one who who had a normal life. Now, why I'm saying this is because it outraged me, the fact that when I was a teenager, or young boy, better said, my country also went through a social war. I come originally from Peru. We had the explosion of the terrorism over there, which was a big, big inner crisis. There were an incredible amount of things going on. One of my favorite games, or our favorite games, or with my friends from the neighborhood, it was counting how many explosions there was in the night. That was our challenge, and then tell the others, and then ask our parents how many explosions were truly during the night. And I was the ones, there were 8 explosions, guys, and they were like, no, 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 there were 10. And then we asked our parents, and they say, no, there were 16. Maybe you fell asleep earlier. We were 8, 9 months without electricity. We went to school, and when we were walking out of the school, because the terrorists, nobody was joined freely, the terrorists or the army, so they installed themselves one in each door of my school. When it was time for us to go home, in one door it was the army, and the other was the terrorist group, and they were catching us literally as if we were animals. They were, the one who got caught by any of the groups was thrown into a truck. They were kidnapped. They were taken to a different part of the country so that they cannot come back to their homes or ask for help or whatever. They were given a rifle, a machine gun, and they were forced for their lives to fight against the other group who didn't catch them. So, and that was for me, for us back then, normal life. Yeah, the terrorism, we managed to get rid of the terrorists. We managed to save the country from hyperinflation. We managed to gain a bit of a stability again. And then I left the country, and well, I present my CV to a company here and a company there, either in England or in Germany, and they look at my Lebenslauf, to my CV, and then they say, oh, okay, then you don't have enough experience, or you don't have this or that PhD that other people of your age do have, or you don't have a master in so and so. Excuse me, my country was in a civil war. I had to work hard since I was 11. My family was of 2 parents and 8 kids. I didn't have shoes to go to school. And of course, nobody gives a damn about those things. I mean, the achievements, the academic achievements I do have at this very point are a lot considering the situation I come from. And I don't think the system, it is very, very fair with regards of the considering the situation when from which one person comes, or from which one person have achieved whatever we have achieved. And of course this is unfair, and of course it winds me up, because yeah, Europeans, we all fill our mouth yet talking about now talking about how humanitarian we are, how mindful of refugees, how worried we are for their mental health, how traumatized they can be, poor little things, for the effects of the war that they are going through. But later on we forget completely about that. No private business nor the government, because the government is the one who, at least, well, in any European country, the government is the one who gives you the scales, taking your education from a foreign country and placing it into the European perspective, and then they tell you, okay, your grade is the equivalent of this and that, which with these grades one applies for a job or a higher university in any of these countries, but they don't take into consideration the situation in which those levels were achieved, which I think, talking about understanding or humanitarianism or life in general, is not very fair. So there you go. Hopefully these thoughts will reach someone in the government or someone who can do something about it. And if there is nobody who can, don't disregard these ideas. It's important that now more than ever we do form our own political opinions about things, because the change is more than ever in our hands. And I'm saying this because no one, never in the human history, there were such a big number of people highly qualified. We are not the ignorant that we used to be hundreds of years ago, when the society and the democracy were the only answers. The society model, I mean, was the only answer for the society back then. We are not anymore those kind of people. We are now worthy of accountability, and we should be regarded as such. So keep an eye on this space until next time.